Here's Jason in Philadelphia. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Hello, Jay. Good afternoon. How are you today, pal? What do you have?
I'm doing pretty well, Chris. I have two quick things about Yankees Red Sox. Number one, for what it's worth, my brother was there last night. He was also at Game 3 of the ALCS last year and the wild card game last year. Not Game 4, but Game 3. And he said the atmospheres were comparable. He said there was a ton of juice last night. I know you were talking
listen,
about that.
I know Dave O'Brien, a Red Sox broadcaster, said that. I was not at Game 4 last year, or Game 3 when the Yankees won both games. Game 4 last year, the Yankees were down 4-0. They got 6 runs in the 7th and 8th inning, and that place was no way. The place was that noisy. Not a chance. That's not fair. Not a playoff game. And the Yankees last year in Game 4 against Houston, down 2-1, down 4-0, bottom 7. Judge hit a home run. They ambushed the Astro bullpen. That place was alive. No way that regular season game last night was as intense as that. That's not fair. Go ahead.
Yeah, and also I wanted to hear your take. I'm not sure if you were with the game, but the bottom of the 7th when Judge hit the single, I thought they should have held Torres at third with one out.
I thought the same thing.
Coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I thought they should have held him. That could have come back to bite him. It didn't, but curious.
Yeah, Nevin sent him. They was a little too aggressive there with the middle of the order up. Yes, I agree, Jay. I agree. Yankees are better, Jason, though, than the Red Sox. You know, they got better play. They're a better team.
Hands down. I mean, I think they've shown that the last year is just who they've played and who they've beat, the teams, the Yankees, compared to the Red Sox. And they'll do that moving forward. Last thing, and I'll hang up, Chris, I completely agree with you and with Scott in Tampa, too, that nobody's interested in baseball in England. It's called America's pastime for a reason. They're trying to force-feed it over there. I know people who worked over there. They're not interested in it, so we'll see what happens. But thanks, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, Jay. Yeah, to me, now they're going to sell the game out. There's enough people who are in England that they're going to go to watch the 2 games in the middle of, June and July, and there's enough Americans there who are going to go. And there's a little curiosity base and everything else. They're going to go to the games. So the baseball is going to sell the games out, but you are not going to sit there and tell me the man in the street cares about the Yankees and Red Sox going to London. I'm sorry. That you're not going to convince me. That you're not going to convince me of under any circumstances. And I know baseball what they're trying to do here, but to me it's stupid. And I hope they give the discount to the Red Sox fan with the season ticket base. Here's Sean in Queens, Mad Dog Unleashed. Sean, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Hey, dog, a couple quick things before I get to the hockey. One, I wouldn't just hand this series to the Warriors, dog.
No.
And I know you're going to say, listen, home court has no bearing, but this is going to be the first time since the first round in 2014 that the Warriors haven't had home court advantage.
Fair. Yeah, you got to put money on it. Who you betting? Don't say Houston. Don't say. Sean.
I would bet that the series goes 7 games.
I'm surprised. Wow, I'm surprised you feel that way.
I mean, I'm rooting for the Warriors, but
I don't see it.
I can see this series. I can't just hand the series to them.
Well, I'm not handing it to them, but I mean the Warriors.
Well, 5 games is handing them the series, dog.
Well, I might go 6 because the Rockets have the 5th game in their building, down 3-1. They might win that game. I just don't see Houston winning this series. I'll tell you one thing, Sean. I think we'd agree on this. Houston better win Game 1.
I totally agree. Quickly switching gears, Yankees, dog. I'm still concerned with the strikeouts in the lineup. I know. Listen, and I know you talked about it with Torrey a couple weeks ago before they, really got on this streak about, them going up against a big staff in the playoffs, a la Houston, a la Verlander, Game 6, 2-2 in the 8th, having to build a run. 35 games into the season, though, Gary Sanchez hitting 192, just as an example.
I understand. And I get that. I mean, the Yankees in a tight series against very good pitching when they can't bash the ball over the ballpark, over the fences, they will have to build the run with their legs and not strike out and put the ball in play. That would concern me a bit against a team like the Astros who have great starting pitching. I don't disagree with you on that. Next, go ahead.
And
how about the hockey?
2 points on the NHL. Dog, I am 100% in agreement with you and Hayden from Virginia. It is absurd to think that the Capitals can put their feet up now, that they finally got over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Alex Ovechkin is 32 years of age, greatest goal scorer in his generation. Sidney Crosby is the other star in this league that he has been compared to for the last 12 seasons. All right, he's finally beat Crosby in the playoffs. It's now 3-1, but Crosby is up 3-0 him in Stanley Cups. And we've seen the Caps, basically be 100 to 115 point team, in multiple years in the last 8 or 9 years. This team needs to win a Stanley Cup. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They should not, be patting themselves on the back, nor should their fans. They need to win a Stanley Cup. That's number one. Number two, as far as the Winnipeg Nashville series dog goes, Scott in Tampa last week hit the nail on the head, telling you that the key word is momentum and that it has nothing to do in these playoffs, and it's so game to game, because everything that's happened in the series does not make sense. I don't know how Nashville can blow the 3-0 lead in Game 3, then get blitzed 7-4, and then come back in Game 4 and play a perfect road game, only to come home and get blitzed on Saturday night, only to come back when half the world figured Winnipeg would close it out on Monday night, and then to play another even more perfect road game in Game 6, and they played in Game 4. So I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. But as you said 2 weeks ago, we're going to be where we thought we'd be in a Game 7 on May 10th. Let's see if it's 3-3 in the third with 8 minutes to go, and let the chips fall where they may. But I will be rooting for the Preds, dog, because Game 5 of the Western Conference Final would be Sunday the 20th, and I will be in Nashville with my wife next weekend. So if there's an opportunity, we will do our very best to attend that game. But on the flip side, I would be very upset if the Winnipeg Jets run ended.
Fair point. Everything you said. Winnipeg's is an underdog in a game, plus 145. Steve thinks Winnipeg will win that Game 7, and I happen to agree with him. I think Winnipeg's got better offense than Nashville, and I think they'll get a goal late to win. Whether overtime would not rule it out. I think the Winnipeg offense will create a big goal on a scoring opportunity, which they will cash in on late in the game, in a tight game.
I'd like to see a good game. I'd like to see a game like that with plenty of drama. Be nice.
9 o'clock's a little late for me.
Yeah, it's a little late.
I can't kill the NHL on that. It's 8 o'clock local. I can't kill the NHL on that. Would I prefer 8 o'clock? Yeah, but I won't go crazy on that one. I mean, I guess you could. You could say 8 o'clock, right? Is that the end of the world? They couldn't play at 8 o'clock?
Yeah, 8 o'clock would be all right, wouldn't it? 7 o'clock local?
Yeah. That was a bad play by Nevin, sending over on the base.
Oh, terrible. I mean, and I was not a second guess that time, right at the time, hold him. I mean, the ball was smoked. What are you doing? He fielded the ball just as he got to third base.
Yeah, it was a bad
I mean, come on. And then you got Didi and Stanton coming up. I mean, it didn't make any sense.
Boy, Steve loves his Yankees. We'll get Kevin Lockery on right after this Sports Bite with Mr. Torrey here on Mad Dog.